There are days when you are not physically hurt, but something inside you is exhausted. It's not your body that's tired, it's your mind. It's the invisible weight of overthinking, of holding responsibilities, of moving forward when no one knows how truly difficult it is. You wake up, you perform. You smile, you reply to messages. You work, but deep inside there's a part that whispers, "How much more can I hold?" The Bible says in Isaiah 40:29, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." That verse was not written for people who had everything under control. It was written for people who were at their limit, for people who kept walking, even when their mind was exhausted. Because there is a kind of weariness that the world doesn't see. It doesn't necessarily show in the eyes. It doesn't show in the body. It appears in the thoughts that never stop, in the decisions that never end, in the constant pressure to keep going. And perhaps that is your case right now. You don't want to give up, but you also don't know how much more you can carry. And the hardest part is that the world still expects you to be strong. The hardest part about mental exhaustion is that almost no one notices it. People see your actions, but they don't see the effort behind each one of them. They see that you are still present, but they don't see the nights your mind won't shut off. They see you are still functioning, but they don't feel the weight you carry in silence. There are moments when even you yourself ask, "Why do I feel this way?" if apparently everything is fine. But mental fatigue doesn't always come from visible chaos. Sometimes it comes from holding yourself together for too long, from being strong when no one held you, from making decisions that no one else could make for you. King David wrote in Psalm 13:2, "How long must I wrestle with my thoughts, and day after day have sorrow in my heart?" David was not weak. He was a king, he was a warrior, he was a leader. And yet there were times when his mind was tired. That means what you feel is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you have been resisting, that you have been fighting internal battles that no one else has seen. And yet you are still here. You are still breathing, you are still trying. Even if a part of you just wants to rest. There is a difference between being tired and being mentally exhausted. When the body is tired, rest recovers it. But when the mind is tired, physical rest is not always enough, because the tiredness lives in the thoughts that won't shut off, in constant worry, in the feeling that there is always something more to solve. You keep up with your responsibilities, you keep showing up, you keep doing what you have to do. But inside you, everything feels heavier than it should. Simple things start to demand more energy. Small decisions feel enormous. And there are times when even your own mind becomes a difficult place to inhabit. Jesus said in Matthew 11:28, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He didn't speak only to those who were physically tired. He spoke to those who were burdened internally, to those who carried invisible weight, to those who kept going, but in silence were exhausted. Perhaps no one else knows. Perhaps no one else sees it. But God does see the effort you make every day not to give up. And there is a reason why, even in the midst of exhaustion, you are still walking. There comes a moment in life when you realize you are not weak. You have just been strong for too long. You have made difficult decisions. You have faced long silences. You have carried responsibilities that no one else could carry for you. And little by little, without realizing it, your mind began to tire. Not from living, but from holding everything together. Sometimes you wonder what happened to the version of you that had more energy, more clarity, more lightness. Not because you have lost your essence, but because the weight of the process has been real. In Psalm 34:18 it is written, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." That means God doesn't just draw near when you are strong. He draws near especially when you are tired. When your mind is saturated, when your heart has endured too much in silence. Because tiredness doesn't mean your purpose is over. Many times it means you have reached a stage of transition, a stage where you can no longer live with the same mentality as before, a stage where something within you is being prepared for a new level of strength. There are battles that make no noise. They have no witnesses. They have no applause. These are the battles that happen inside your mind when you are in silence, when no one demands anything from you, and yet you feel the weight of everything. It's the moment you lie down, but your mind remains awake, reviewing decisions, imagining scenarios, carrying responsibilities that haven't even happened yet, but your mind insists on anticipating. And that exhaustion doesn't come from just one day. It comes from weeks, months, perhaps years of holding yourself up, of adapting, of surviving versions of life that demanded more than you imagined. The prophet Elijah, after a great victory, fled into the desert and said, "Enough, Lord, take my life. I am no better than my ancestors." 1 Kings 19:4. It wasn't a lack of faith, it was mental exhaustion. Even the strongest, even the most called, even the most prepared have had moments where their minds needed to stop. But what Elijah didn't know at that moment was that God had not led him into the desert to end him. He had led him there to restore him. After Elijah said he couldn't take it anymore, God did not rebuke him. He did not demand that he be stronger. He did not remind him of his responsibilities. The Bible says that God first let him sleep. Then he sent an angel who touched him and said, "Arise and eat, for the journey is too great for you." 1 Kings 19:7. Before asking him to continue, God restored him. That reveals something profound. God does not build your purpose on your exhaustion. He builds your purpose on your restoration. Many times we think we must keep pushing, keep producing, keep resisting without stopping. But God understands the limits of the human mind. He knows there are times when your soul needs to regain strength before moving forward. Perhaps right now you feel like you don't have the same clarity, that your energy is not the same, that your mind is slower, heavier. But that doesn't mean you are losing your way. It means you are in a moment where something inside you is being silently renewed. Because even when you don't feel strength, God continues to sustain every step you take. There's a difference between giving up and letting go of a burden you were never meant to carry alone. Often, mental fatigue doesn't just come from what you do, but from what you try to control. The future, the answers. Time, the opinions of others. Outcomes that don't yet depend on you. Your mind tries to solve everything, even what hasn't happened yet. And without realizing it, you start living in a constant state of inattention. In Proverbs 3:5-6, it is written, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." That means not everything depends on your mental capacity. Not everything depends on you having all the answers now. Part of peace comes when you understand that you don't need to hold the universe in your own hands. There are things only God can order. There are paths that are only revealed with time. And perhaps the rest your mind needs is not to escape your life. It's learning that you're not walking alone within it. Mental exhaustion has a silent way of changing you. It makes you more aware. It forces you to look within. It teaches you that you cannot live forever in survival mode. There comes a point when your soul asks for something different. No more pressure, but purpose. No more noise, but direction. What you feel today is not the end of your strength. It is the end of a version of you that carried everything without discernment. In 2 Corinthians 12:9, it is written, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." And that means that even at the moment you feel mentally weakest, something stronger can begin to form within you. Because when your mind can no longer depend solely on itself, it learns to depend on something eternal. It learns to trust, it learns to surrender. It learns to walk without having everything figured out. And it is in that space where you are no longer driven by pressure, but guided by faith. Your exhaustion is not a sign that you are losing. It may be a sign that you are leaving behind the weight that does not belong to your future. If you had truly lost all your strength, you wouldn't be here. The fact that you keep breathing, that you keep trying, that you keep seeking answers, means that something inside you is still alive. Perhaps not with the same intensity as before. Perhaps not with the same clarity, but it's still alive. There is a part of you that refuses to give up. In Galatians 6:9 it is written, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." That means there is a time that has not yet come. A time when what feels heavy today will make sense, where invisible effort will become visible fruit. Your mind may be tired, but your purpose is not over. God does not sustain people only when they feel strong. He especially sustains those who keep walking when everything within them feels weak. This moment does not define your end, it defines your transition. Because there is a difference between someone who gives up and someone who rests to continue. And you are still here. Your mind may be tired now, but that doesn't mean your story is over. It means you've reached a point where you can no longer live on autopilot, where you need something deeper than simple endurance. You need renewal. Isaiah 40:31 says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Notice it doesn't say they will never grow weary. It says they will receive new strength. That means tiredness is not the end. It is the place where God begins to rebuild you from within. One day, you will look back and understand that this period was not a sign of weakness. It was the moment where your mind learned to depend less on fear and more on faith, where you learned to walk without having all the answers, but trusting that God was guiding every step. If this message spoke to you, write in the comments, "God is with me." And remember this, you are not behind. You are not lost. You are not broken. You are being strengthened even now, and your story still continues.